So this goes out to my anime community. All right. So I know it's a small little corner, y'all, in my already small little community that we anime fans. Y'all watch my anime videos, and for that, I thank you. There is a CG anime with some of the best looking CG I've seen in years from Studio Orange. That is a fantasy cyberpunk, not cyberpunk, steampunk World War I, not two anime, and y'all ain't put your boy onto it. That's all right. I'm gonna be a good friend and put y'all onto it. Let's talk about Leviathan. What is up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka the Loot Box Hero. Check out the second channel because the second channel is popping. I just did a video about one battle after another over there. You can check that out if you want to. Aka the real Super Mario, aka YouTube's greatest fat man here. Feeling like crap, but feeling a little bit better though. You know what I'm saying? So, alright, anime, Leviathan. So Leviathan, if you don't know, is one of the best CG anime I've seen in years. Okay, and it's over on Netflix. It dropped in July, and y'all didn't put me on to it. Shame. This bad boy has some of my favorite aspects. It's got fantasy aspects to it. It's got World War I. It's CG. It's done by Studio Orange. Here's the thing, and I know when y'all hear CG anime and y'all tune out. Listen, okay, it's not like bootleg CG. Okay, all right, this is Studio Orange. All right, this is probably the best CG anime studio in the game when it comes to TV CG anime. Okay, these guys did Beastars. They did Land of the Lustrous. All right, they don't play no games, and they won't play no games when they did this show. Okay, so now the story of Leviathan basically is a fantasy version of World War I, which is pretty interesting because I'm a little sick of the World War II stories. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, because World War II stories are everywhere. All right, and it's mainly because World War II is the perfect war for a battle between good versus evil. You know, because that's basically what it was. World War I is more complicated because it's more shades of gray. It's a battle. It's a battle of empires and ideologies and nationalism. You know what I'm saying? And all of the participants have red on their ledger. So it's none of them were clean in these situations. You know, everybody's done something messed up in this situation. You know. Which makes World War I more interesting. And this is a fictional version of World War I with fantasy elements because there's like steampunk and like fantasy in it. All right, and there are two factions of different countries because they have all the real countries like Britain, Austria, Germany, the Ottomans, but they're in different factions. So you've got the I guess kind of evil faction, like the bad guys, because they are kind of antagonistic. And that is the clankers, right? And so they're basically science majors, right? They're into machines and robots and science and all that other kind of stuff. And they use like spider tanks, like you see from like the Clone Wars. They actually look pretty cool. They're like angular and like, you know, but they look pretty cool though. Like a steampunk spider tank. Okay, this is what's up. The Then the other faction, which the other side of World War I with like the British and the French and all of them, are the beasties, I believe is what they called. And they use more like genetically engineered animals. They use more like bioengineering. So, you know, like they have a giant like airship that's a flying whale. You know what I'm saying? And it looks freaking cool. Okay. As far as the characters go, it follows two characters. It follows the prince of the Ottomans, who is in the Clanker. They're one of the Clanker nations. But through a series of events, he ends up on their bad side. And I'm not going to get into any of his character because everything about him is basically spoilers. And then the other one is Dylan Sharp. And yes, if you think that's a fake name, you are correct. Will I tell you why? No, it's a spoiler.
All right, then, keep your secret.
But, so essentially they end up on the same side due to a series of events that happened in Austria. And if you know anything about World War I and Austria, you can kind of put two and two together and see what happens, you know. But, yeah, you know, and it's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good show. The show has some heart. It has some dark moments where, like, certain people die. It's got everything you can need in the show. Now, I have not finished the show, so I don't know if the show takes a dip after, like, 4 or 5 episodes. Because I sat down and I was like, I'm going to check this out. And I sat there for 2 hours. I watched the whole first arc of the show. Because the show is separated into 3 arcs. One for each book is in the franchise. So it's Leviathan, Goliath, and I think Bahamut. I watched the entire Leviathan arc, and it was pretty good. Okay, it was pretty good. It's the only real downside I can really say for the show is that if you're looking for like a uber seinen like war show where like a bunch of death and like blood and like perfect, it's not really like that. It's not uber kiddie either. But it's not like a dark seinen type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's not gonna be that, you know. It's dark enough to wet your whistle, but it's not so dark where it can, you know, start wearing edgy makeup and wearing black and stuff like that. If you know what I mean. The only other downside is the CG can be a little stiff sometimes, but that's really with any CG. But the CG is on point. And the characters. There's one negative thing about this show when it comes to the characters, and that's some of the dialogue is a little annoying. Particularly Dylan, and he has a catchphrase where he's like, oh, it's barking spiders. And I'm like, please stop trying to make that catch. It's not going to work. Stop it. Let it go, okay? It doesn't work, all right? You know what I'm saying? Like, when nobody's going to... Barking spiders is not going to catch on and become some kind of marketing gimmick. You know, nobody's going to buy a barking spiders t-shirt, okay? All right? But other than that, though, the show is actually pretty good. It actually represents the different countries and the different factions of World War I pretty well. You know what I'm saying? There's beef, but when certain countries have to work together, they don't just... oh, we're friends because we're on the same... no, there's actually beef. They actually don't like these people, all right? Because the Clankers and the Beasties, they don't like each other anyway because of different ideologies. But the different countries also have their own individual issues with each other. Like, you know, people from Britain don't like the Austrians for XYZ reasons I'm not going to spoil. And it all feels really crunchy, like a real lived-in kind of world, all right? Check it out, all right? Check it out, all right? If you got Netflix, fire up the old Netflix, look for Leviathan, and watch it, you know? Because I'm going to be a good friend and put you on to something good, okay? All right, tell me what you think in the comments down below. I'm trying to come up with some different type of anime videos because I want to make more of these, all right? I want to make more anime videos. So tell me what you think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.